am I shocked about the discourse of Season 2 of The Last of Us? Absolutely not, because if you weren't living under a rock during 2020, the discourse on the game, Last of Us Part 2, was unbearable. A minority of people liked the second game, and most of the gamers hated it for one moment. One scene we'll get to, so spoilers for Season 2 of The Last of Us. And they hated it so much that some of the losers harassed the actor who played Abby. So much that she's not online anymore. Really good job, guys. Why don't you go outside and touch some goddamn grass? You Cheeto-eating losers. So am I shocked that with Season 2 it's toxic? No. Again, I'm not shocked. Especially with today's climate where you can't enjoy anything without someone saying, it's woke, blah blah blah. It's like, again, go outside and touch some grass. You absolute losers. But guess what? I liked it. I liked Season 2. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, is it as great as Season 1? No. You can't beat Season 1. It was magical that season. But Season 2 is also pretty good. And I like the changes they made. I think it made the show much better than the game. Because with the game, Dina only went with Ellie because she liked her. That was it. But with the show version, Dina goes with Ellie because she's close to Joel. Joel's basically her father. So when Joel dies, there's a spoiler, she wants to go on this revenge mission with Ellie. It makes sense, and it makes this character have purpose on the show. And another really good change that I thought was the pregnancy. Because with the game, it's important, but the way they bring it up makes really no sense. But I'm sorry, I'll say this. What I don't like is the game. The Last of Us Part 2 is a horrible game. Narratively, gameplay, it's all terrible. And it's such a shame because the first game's so good, but the second game is trash. It is. And it's not just because of the shocking death of Joel. That also didn't make sense with the game. But with the show, the changes they made are so much better because, like I said, with the game, when she gets pregnant, it's out of nowhere, and Ellie gets so mad that she tells Dina to leave. Don't go on this mission anymore. Go home, because she's mad at Dina. With the show, it's so much fleshed out better. Like, there's hints that she's pregnant, she's throwing up, she's having stomach cramps. It makes sense. They're building up that she's pregnant. It's not out of nowhere. And what I like the change is TV version of Ellie, she's happy. She's happy to be a parent to this kid, and it's a cute moment. And I just think it's a much better change, and it makes Ellie's adventure more dangerous because now she has to protect two people. Dina, her girlfriend, and her future kid. She has to protect them all. So it gives her more anxiety. I do think, I just don't understand the hate for this season, because what I'm seeing is that the gamers are pissed off, but it's like you were pissed with the game version. But now that the show adapts it and makes some changes, you're like, how dare they make those changes? It's like, it's just like any fan base. You can't make any of them happy. And I just don't understand the hate, especially towards the Ellie actress, Bella Ramsey. Leave the poor girl alone. Yeah, she has a unique face. You don't have to make fun of her. Like, the whole hate culture online is so bad now. That's another story. But I really do think when they're done with all 4 seasons, because yes, they want to do 4 seasons, and so they want to do 4 seasons. Fine, it makes sense. The second game's huge. It's a giant storytelling game. It just kind of disappoints me, though. I'll give the haters this. I'm not too excited for season 3 now. I was. The finale of season 2 was so good. I'm ready for season 3. Now we're gonna be following Abby the whole time for season 3. I'm like, why? I get it with the game. There's a whole chapter with Abby's adventures that explains why she hates Joel. I get that. But Abby is such an evil piece of shit, and to follow her story for season 3 is gonna be really hard. Again, if they do it right, I'm all for it. But it makes me nervous because people hated season 2 so much. Not all, but lots of people didn't like season 2 so much that them having a narrative of Abby the whole season, I don't think they're gonna get those people to return. I will watch it. I'll see how it goes. But I'm just sadly not too excited for season 3. Now again, if they pull it off with Abby, sure. And it's HBO. They make the best shows, so I have confidence. But following Abby the whole time is gonna be rough, especially what she did to Joel, and to be like, oh yeah, let's have a whole season on her. Okay, so back to the video. I do think people will look back of all 4 seasons and be like, they'll like season 2, because season 2 was a build-up for season 3. It was setting up the storylines for season 3, setting up the characters for season 3. It was basically a setup season. And yeah, do I wish it was more like season 1 where it's coherent, it's just not setting up everything? Yeah, but even with all the setups, season 2's story is still really good. So I do think people will look back when the show is done and be like, season 2 is actually pretty good. I'm hoping for that. I think that's going to happen. But I really like this season for how they dealt with loss and how they grieved. Ellie, when Joel died, that sweet Ellie you knew from season 1 is dead. Now we got this cold-hearted Ellie who's angry, wants revenge for Abby killing her father. Then there's Dina, who also cared about Joel, but she wants to move on with Ellie. She doesn't want this death to affect her so much. And then there's Tommy, who wants to honor his brother because he died. He wants to honor his brother's death. But he also has a responsibility. He has a family. He doesn't want to go on this revenge mission because he wants the town protected, especially after it was just attacked. So how they dealt with grief is very interesting with this season. I really like how they dealt with it. Each character dealt with it a different way. And I do like how later on with the episodes, Tommy does join them, realizing he's got to avenge his brother. I really do like that. And what I think did really well with the show that the game didn't do was showing the reaction of the town after Joel's death. Because with the game, you don't see the reaction. You don't know how the town feels. You just go on Ellie's revenge story. While with the show, you see the people grieve because Joel was a local hero at that town and his death affects them. But also when Ellie wants people to go with her on this revenge story, the people won't know because they're scared because their town was just under attack, and now their local hero that protected them from this danger is dead. So I like how they showed how this town is scared. And people might say they're cowards, like why wouldn't you go after Joel? But it makes sense because their town was attacked by the fungus zombies. I know that's not their name, but I'm gonna say that. And they want to honor Joel, but also they have to focus on their families, make sure that they're safe and cared for. And yeah, I really liked how the show dealt with the town's grief of Joel. And I always say to myself, and I tweet, but what I do say to myself and to other people is when a studio adapts a book, a comic book, a game, anything that they can adapt to a movie or show, you cannot expect it to be 100% an adaptation. That's just idiotic, because that means that director, that writer can't get creative with their own version of the story. So I always say expect 50-50. 50% adaptation, 50% the filmmaker's own version. And I don't I think lots of population don't understand that. You saw that with the Harry Potter films. You saw that with the Hunger Games, how fans were not happy. It's like, they can't adapt 100%. They can't. And I guess that's where the hate is from, but the creators are Craig Mazin, who did The Incredible. We haven't seen it. If you don't have HBO Max, please, if you can afford it, get it. Or it's on physical. It's on physical media.
On Amazon. Go watch Chernobyl. It's the best, one of the best TV shows ever. Seriously. Warning though, if you cannot stand, if you cannot handle depressing content, don't watch it. But if you can handle that, go watch Chernobyl. It's amazing.
But that creator of Chernobyl adapted The Last of Us. And he also did it with the co-creator of The Last of Us game. So it's like, the creator of the game was okay with these changes. So I don't understand why people are so mad at Craig. Like, he got the permission from the creator of the game. So I just don't understand the hate. I get it, how they didn't fully adapt it, but their changes are so much better than the game. And gamers, you know this, because I'm a gamer too. Okay, I don't play that much games anymore, but when I do, I got some games. But you guys gotta know, The Last of Us Part 2 game is shit. It's not a good game. So, I just don't understand the hate. And you say that Craig didn't abandon the main story, he just added to it. I think the additions were good. So now we get to the most controversial scene of the game and now the show that made people fall off from the show was Joel's death. It is still so brutal and heartbreaking, the show's version. It is less brutal than the game. The game was overly brutal and shocking with his death, being beat to death by a golf club with brain splatter was a little too much. Again, that's what I don't like about the game, it was shock value without being a part of the story. I'm fine with shock value if it's a part of the story. If it's just to shock the audience that's lazy. That's what Neil Druckmann did with The Last of Us Part 2 game. It's just shock value with the death. And the death makes no sense. And there was some people who said, well, you find out that Abby is angry because he killed her dad. But here's the problem. You don't find that out until like 3 hours into the game. So the whole time you're like, who is this tall, buff lady killing the best character of games? Like, and her justification for killing him is such bullshit. Because if you don't know from the game, maybe they'll explain this with Season 3, so spoilers for Season 3. You find out that dad wasn't even a doctor. He wasn't even a doctor, he was a vet. So this cure that they could have got was never gonna work. Never. So I know there's an online debate. Was Joel right? Damn straight he was protecting his daughter. These doctors were about to kill a kid because they thought they could get a cure. They had no idea, so they were about to kill her probably for nothing. So Joel, being a good father figure, was like, hell no, I'm gonna save my daughter. He was right for killing those doctors. So with the show's version of the death, it is more respectful. It is. They barely show the death. They cut to a different scene and then cut back to Joel's death, cut back to a different scene. So it's more tasteful, but still heartbreaking. Especially instead of the golf club, she beats him to death with her fist. So that's the most brutal part of this version. And seeing the performance from Pedro Pascal's death, he's not dead, the actor, I'm talking about the character's death. He performed it so well, you thought Pedro was dead. It was like, Jesus Christ! So, yeah. But the death is still really heartbreaking. I almost cried. I'm not really a crier, but, I love Joel, and seeing him dead was heartbreaking. But it was nice seeing with the flashbacks. Spoiler for Season 2. There was flashbacks, and they were very nice to see Joel again. But, yeah. But what also I like about the change is the reaction to Joel's death from Abby's group. Because from the game, Abby's group's all for the death. They are evil motherfuckers. They're all for his death. But with the show's version, they're scared. They're scared of Abby. They're like, yeah, Abby's taking this too far. So I like seeing how some of them disagree with Ellie, but they still don't stop her, so that makes them accountable for his death. What makes this more heartbreaking than the game is Ellie's reaction, because she tracks down Joel and she sees him being beat to death. And they tackle her down and they hold her and make her watch Abby do the final blow, stabbing Joel in the neck, officially killing him. And it's heartbreaking. It's more heartbreaking than the game. And she crawls, after they leave, Ellie crawls to him, and you understand why she's so heartbreaking because so, no, I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, the death and her reaction is so much more heartbreaking than the game. That Bella and Joel should be nominated for an Emmy. Something. They need to be nominated for something because their performance this season is so top notch. Oh, it's beautiful. But, you know, after the death, it makes Abby, just like the game, the most hated villain on TV. You hate Abby, and your hate is justified. So what makes this scene also more heartbreaking than the game is with the game, Tommy and Joel save Abby, and then that's when the death scene happens, and Tommy witnesses the death of his brother. With the show, what makes it more heartbreaking is Joel never got to say goodbye to his family. He was taken away and was never... He didn't know because he knew the town was being attacked. He didn't know if his family survived. So it's kind of heartbreaking that he never knew if his family was safe. Again, the show adaptation is just so much better. What also makes this scene so... I shouldn't say great, but it is a really good scene that's heartbreaking, is Ellie's guilt. Because the day before, what you see further during the season, you get that famous porch scene, where before that porch scene, so feeling even more guilty because the day before, Ellie for months was angry at Joel because she knew he killed those doctors and is mad at him for that because she finally had a purpose. Because us as humans, we have a purpose. We think we do, but Ellie was born in the apocalypse where those opportunities are no more. So even if she would die, she didn't care because she had a purpose. And then we get that amazing porch scene where Joel's like, I would do it again. I would kill those doctors again because I care. You're my daughter. Like, I'm always going to try to save you and make sure you're protected and safe and cared for. And Ellie tells them that she doesn't know if she can forgive him, but she wants to try. So the day before his death, they rekindled their father-daughter relationship, and then he gets taken away from her the day after. So again, making the death even more heartbreaking than the game. So to wrap it up, I can understand why some people didn't like this season. I can totally understand because it's setting up the third season and the fourth season. It's a setup season. I could get that. But for me, even if it was setting up for the future seasons, I thought it was done so well and cared that you could tell Craig Mazin loves the games and he wants this adaptation to be perfect. And I think he did a good job with the storytelling for season 2. Yeah, Ellie was mean, but what people don't understand is that's how teenagers act. Especially teenage girls have so much attitude. It makes sense that she has attitude for everyone else. But I think lots of people didn't understand that, especially as adults. Like I can sometimes forget how I acted when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I had attitude because teenagers are pieces of shit. And I think as adults, you forget how you acted when you were younger. So the people saying Ellie was a bitch this season, yeah, she was, but she's a teenager. She's 19. Like, it makes sense. I don't know, I liked it. I liked season 2. I thought it was really done well. The death was justified much better and more heartbreaking. At least Revenge was so much better with Dina joining her. And the season finale, setting up season 3, was crazy and done so well. I enjoyed season 2. I don't understand the hate for it. I can understand that people that like it, but if you hate it, I don't understand that. I really don't. And people saying it's the worst thing on television, you're just wrong. There's so much more shit on TV. Have you ever watched the TLC or Discovery channels? You're saying you'd rather watch those than The Last of Us? Oh, okay. I just hope more people in the future actually get to enjoy season 2 because it's good. But yeah, that's my recap on season 2 of The Last of Us. I might in the future talk about season 1 because I think season 1 is much better. Yeah, season 1 is perfect. It's like The Sopranos. It's perfect television. Yeah, so that's my recap of The Last of Us Season 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it to others. Follow me on social medias. I'm mostly on Bluesky and Instagram, link in the bio. And yeah, subscribe to the best channel on YouTube. Not really, but subscribe if you like this video. Peace out, guys.